Hello students, welcome back to revision time. I hope you all are good. So as we were discussing the chapter control and coordination and we are done with the nervous system, today let us start with the hormonal system or the endocrine system. Link to the video of the nervous system is in the description box or in the iCard. Endocrine system is composed of the endocrine glands. So now when the epithelial tissue it invaginates like this portion formed it is known as a gland. It is a ductless organ. Endocrine glands is a ductless organ. These glands they secrete proteinic chemicals which are known as the hormones and they are released directly into the bloodstream for their quick action. So sometimes we also have glands which have ducts attached to it, then they are known as the heterocrine glands. For example, we have pancreas which is a part of our alimentary canal also. So we already have a nervous system for the control and coordination. So why do we need the hormonal system now? So because only the parts which are connected to the nerves in our body, they are managed through the nervous system. And also the nerve impulses, they cannot be conducted continuously. So these are the drawbacks of the nervous system. That is why we need the hormonal system. So characteristics of hormones. First of all, hormonal control is slow as compared to the nervous control. Hormones, they are proteinic and they are needed in the small amount and they are released directly into the bloodstream. And the most important part is it is specific in nature. So the hormone which is made for a specific organ in our body, it will act and affect only that organ only. Rest of the body is not acted upon by it, right? So it can have effects but it will act only on that organ only, right? So now let us see different hormones and the glands and the functions associated with them. First of all, we have the pituitary gland, or some may pronounce it as pituitary gland. It is located in the forebrain. So we have already seen the parts of brain. We have midbrain, hindbrain and forebrain. So it is first releasing the growth hormone. As the name suggests, it is responsible for the growth of our body. And if it is released in the excess, it can cause a situation known as the gigantism, in which a person, he or she is exceptionally big. And if it is in a less amount, then it is causing dwarfism, in which the person is exceptionally small in growth, right? There is less growth. So next it is releasing FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone. It is producing sperms and ovums. These are the germ cells of our body which are required for the reproduction. And the sperms and ovums, they have follicles for their functioning, and this hormone it is stimulating the follicular cells for the production of sperms and the ovums. Next we have ADH, which is antidiuretic hormone. It is performing the function in the urine formation. Prolactin, it is associated with the mammary glands. Oxytocin, it is for the uterus contraction during the time of parturition. Parturition is the time of delivery of a baby. So we need uterus contraction, and oxytocin it is used there. So at times where there are no natural pains, so the patient it is injected with the injection for inducing pains. In that only we use oxytocin only, right? Next is thyroid stimulating hormone. It stimulates the thyroid gland to release its hormone, right? Next we have is hypothalamus, also a part of forebrain. It is releasing the RH hormones, that are the releasing hormones, which is helping in releasing of the pituitary hormones only. For example, we have FSH-RH, so that means if it will stimulate the pituitary gland to release the follicle stimulating hormone. Same way we have growth hormone releasing hormone, TSH-RH, etc., right? Next we have pineal gland. It is also present in the brain. It is releasing the melatonin hormone, which is responsible in the functioning of the reproductive organs. Thyroid gland, it is present in front of the trachea and it is releasing two hormones, thyroxine and calcitonin. So thyroxine is managing the metabolism of the carbohydrates, fats and proteins, whereas calcitonin, it is helping in the decreasing level of the calcium and phosphorus in our blood. So at times we have when we have the depleted iodine levels in our body, so our thyroid gland it swells up and it forms the situation known as goiter. Goitre, right? Next we have parathyroid gland. It is in front of the thyroid gland and it is releasing parathormone. So this is antagonist to the calcitonin. It is parathonin, it is increasing the level of calcium and phosphorus in the blood, whereas calcitonin was decreasing these levels, right? Next we have thymus gland in front of the heart, releasing thymosin, which is responsible in increasing the immunity. Next we have pancreas, which is our heterocline gland. It is present below the stomach and it is releasing insulin and glycogen. Insulin is responsible for decreasing the blood sugar level, and glycogen, it is increasing our blood glucose level. So at times when there is less insulin production in a body, then the person is suffering from the diabetes. And you must have noticed that when the person it is having severe diabetes, the blood sugar level is exceptionally high, he is then advised for the injectables of insulin. He takes the insulin injections for the controlling of the blood sugar level, right? Next we have is adrenal gland, which is located at the kidney surface, and it is releasing the adrenaline hormone. It is also known as the emergency hormone or flight or fight hormone, right? Because it is managing our body in the emergency situation. So during the emergency, we can be experiencing high blood pressure, high blood sugar level, increased in heart rate, urge to urinate, right? So it is because of the adrenaline. So next we have is ovary. It is present in the females in the lower abdomen, and ovary is releasing two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is also spelled as OES, right? So estrogen, it is responsible for the ova maturation. Ova is nothing but the ovum only, egg only, which is a germ cell, and also in the development of the secondary sexual characters in the females. Whereas progesterone, it is responsible in the maintenance of the pregnancy in the females. Similarly, we have testes, which are present in the males in the lower abdomen. It is secreting testosterone, which is responsible for the sperm maturation and development of the secondary sexual characters in the males. So this was all about the hormonal system in human beings. Next is we will cover the coordination in plants in the next video. For that, press the bell icon, do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.